not seeing a good acorn crop really anywhere, or nothing that they're utilizing right now anywhere?
The chestnut oaks are starting to like get to that weird like germination rotting stage, and Ben said he was seeing some like low slope black oak feeding and stuff, but I mean the green stuff is so huge right now.
Where are you getting green stuff other than real low?
Like Japanese honeysuckle and sunny stuff, rose in the bottoms.
Yeah, what happened with that?
I was drawn and on the wrong side of the tree that was in front of me. If he would have taken one more step, he would have been toast. And I probably could have leaned out and shot, but like I didn't really want to lean while his head was down and like catch his attention. But like as soon as he looked up, then like he could see me on like I was looking at him on the other side of the tree that I was like right up against, and he saw me then, and he turned around and he actually stopped at like 35 yards, and I let one go at him, and it hit a tiny tree in front of him, stuck in the tree. It would have hit him if it wouldn't have hit that tree.
Yeah. But sometimes trees will get in your way. I mean, we've seen it before. It looked like a real nice buck.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we were looking for. I think this is the good time.
Keith, do you think now's pretty good then?
I think so, like traditionally, and like what the historic sign leads to.
Yeah, based off traditionally.
So I think you picked a good time.
Yeah, we gonna have a good time with it. I've been hyping it up. I've been hyping it to Roy by saying there's gonna be like 4 days where we don't see anything, dude.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there he's gonna be. Keith, what are you doing? I guess I never even asked you. Since you went ahead and tagged one. Yeah, I guess give me the story on that. I still haven't got the story on that.
Or there's a spot that I had wanted to go into that I had like scouted in September and made a little video about it and saw a bunch of does in September, and it seemed like a cool spot, and I hadn't been in there yet, and we just had like a few hours, so it was like, well, let's just stomp in somewhere. We probably pulled up at 3:30 or whatever. We had gotten down there. It was like 4. It was just like half an hour in. We already had this doe in front of us, and we're like, we're not even that far from the car at all. We're not quite where we want to be, but just got live bait right here, and like she didn't really see us or anything. It was windy, and we had like a weird predominant wind where it was a crosswind to the creek we were in, but it was blowing it up and out of the creek right in our face. So she ended up just like going up onto this bench above us and feeding under a chestnut oak, just in like plain sight. It was like, well, I guess we just like feel it out. No reason to get past her. She's real relaxed. We sat there for 40 minutes or whatever, just watching her, probably 80 or 90 yards away, and heard something and looked up and was like, oh, there's a buck coming in on like the low slope, pretty much on the same trail she was on. I first saw him, was like, oh, it's a small buck, and then he turned and was like, oh, he's kind of wide, like probably would shoot this thing, but we're just gonna kind of feel it out. Same trail as the doe, and then we kind of lose him in the beach haze, and I look up and he's just like walking at us down that point. And my bow's just like on the ground. I was able to just duck down and got my bow ready, and he plopped down into the creek, and as soon as he was walking at us, probably down to like 25 yards, and then he got out of sight because he had went down into the creek, and I drew. You could just hear him walking towards us. You're just waiting to see antler right in front of you, and then he comes up, and there we have the perfect tree where he popped up at 15 or whatever, and he just kept coming to us quartered and got behind a tree to where we could both just swivel the last like barely a little bit that we needed to, and he just stopped like 9 yards, stuffed him quartering to 9 yards. He died in like 15 seconds.
Did you see him go down then?
No, but we heard him. Like we were very confident that he was dead. I mean, just like ran circles, and you could hear him just crash and roll. It was just over a little hump from us. It was just like, wow, it just took like hour and 20 minutes. Just waltzed out there and got ourselves home.
Oh yeah, that's how it worked for Jake and I after 16 days.
See you, Roy. I'll see you probably at some point in the future, I would imagine.
I would hope so.
See ya. We're in Ohio now. Looks good.
Hey, where's this fuel, please?
Cracks me up when people just have such a bad day that they're going, it's like, dude, how bad is it? Come on now.
And that's deer killing food.
Tip of the day, don't buy a $2 coffee that's only that we even gonna get hyped up?
They kind of just gipped us.
How we even gonna get hyped up on our second cup of the day?
Oh, you hear that?
Ooh. Alright, should we just slide past him and try to get in on him? But dude, he's seriously like so close to public.
He's running back in now. I think we tried to kill him.
Is that, dude, is he going back?
That's the Dell.
No, that's this bigger buck.
And then he just walked out of that ditch.
Dude, he's going to public. He's straight up walking right towards public.
Yeah.
That was the small buck. That's the small buck, I think.
I think that's the Dell. He's running right after. Yeah, small buck just got out.
You're right, you're right. Dang, I was hoping they were going to go to the left. They're still running right to public. Well, they just ran right onto public land. It's almost like first day of hunting season problems for me at this point. Just put it under there too. Give me a cut, bud. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, even. Oh, good. November 15th. Get that figured out. Stupid. And and make sure you get yourself prepped before the season. We had to stop and do some stealth stripping before we get all the way in there. Just so we're not making any noise. Usually you do this before your season starts, but Zach also forgot his rangefinder, so he just ran back to the truck to go get it. But we're gonna get in here. We're gonna kill this deer. Becky and Alex are telling us that they've been hunting this area and all they've been finding is these chestnut oaks, but they're, as Roy said, expired. They're just germinated, you know, so they kind of get soft, and I don't think it would taste as good as when they're fresh. I don't think they really like these things like as much as other oaks do, but they'll do it when it's the only option. I think this year it is the only option, at least yet. Haven't seen hardly any feeding sign in the woods. It's the end of the first day here, and we got eyes on that big buck. Then we spent the rest of the day looking for him. And, you know, it's the thing about the rut. 1 minute you're in it, next minute you're not. And I think we just spent too much time trying to get back here, and by the time we're back here, it's like, who knows where they even went. But depending on what the conditions are tomorrow, we're just going to get in there and probably go somewhere else, just because got no real strings attached to this spot other than we watched one come in here. But I don't know how much value you can can hold on that on November 15th, especially when he ran across an open field. It's like, who knows? So, I go back, talk to Ben about it, and then we'll be back at him for day 2.
That was intense.
We won't get so ridiculous on this next one.
That's a respectful pour.
Much more respectful than pouring it on the floor.
What are the ice cubes for?
So that we can perform the chug dose here. Something Keith and I started doing last year. We did chug dose and you follow it with the lethal dose. And that's what you're doing by November 16th. dream in the making here for like a year for me to do this. I've been looking forward to getting in these thick areas like this and just being quiet like this because we thought we heard deer, and whether we did or not, whether he could have been half a mile away when we first sat down, but all of a sudden he was coming up on us and all we had to do was move over here. I scraped and he scraped right back. And then he literally came in bristled. And I was this close to shooting him. The log was just over his vitals enough that I felt like it was right where the log was here and where I needed to put my pin was right there. And I was like, it's not worth the risk, because if it comes up and hits him funky, well, good news is we still got like 5 3/4 days to do more of that. That was a tank though. And I wanted him.
That was crazy.
I think we just keep doing it, don't you?
All day.
I mean,
All day.
I think one thing that we could have done differently, like right now we're right smack in the middle of this old logging road. And we were set up with this little stick and kind of grass as our background. So when he stepped in, he's looking, you can tell he's already looking into the road. We definitely could have done something different, I think. And what we're trying to take away is that maybe instead of coming over here and being in the middle of the trail, we just flip it right there. The only thing I was thinking is that would give him more time to see us before he got into the road. I don't know what's right or wrong. I mean, I think maybe there would have just been just enough haze between us where there's no... See, that's the thing, is there's no haze between us. It's just us.
Yeah.
And like, last year in Pennsylvania, we shot that buck at 3 yards. And there was just grass around us. So I think maybe had we just stayed, like, I went to where you were and you went to where I was, maybe that would have worked. Maybe next time we just got to try to stick in more. And, you know, we were like, let's try to get up as tight to this as we can, but it still doesn't make a difference. It's like right behind us, there's nothing. The other thing I thought about doing was just going back there, but I'm afraid he would have seen us because he's got high ground. He came from the hill. There's like a high point up here, and he kind of worked back around this, and we knew he wasn't going to come right through this thick stuff. We knew he was going to go back through that little... I mean, that's where the deer trail is. We knew that's where he would go.
Did you smell him after he ran away? I smelled him. I don't think he would have picked us over there.
Really?
Yeah. Would have been way harder for him.
That's the way I love to hunt, and that's fun, and hey, we learned from it. I got drawn. You know, I didn't force a shot. Those are positives. We got a buck in easy bow range. We called one in, doing what we wanted to do. The only thing that, we probably should have done is just trusted that this is where we had cover. We had the haze of the grass, which just breaks up. I mean, you got a leafy suit and stuff on, and I mean, hair, I'm tucked down, my face is covered by my bow, but when there's nothing between you and him, I mean, it's still kind of unnatural. I mean, we're still a human sitting there, so probably should have just put a little of this grass between us and maybe would have got a shot at him, but who knows?
Oh, that one's a huge half rack.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Buddy, that's right, dude. That's the type of deer you trying to kill out here.
That's pretty sweet. Not even close to public.
No. 5-point side. Oh yeah. He just said, I'm just chewing my cud. I'm just getting this doe right up against the highway. That's a great example of a buck blocking down a doe.
Out there and you're just like, dude, we ain't even seen anything we ain't seen a deer. So it's like, well, man, we're about due to see a really good one, I'd hope, you'd think, man. Man, you'd hope.
I hope you synchronize.
It's November 21st here in Ohio, and I'm here with Zach Fehrenbaugh of the Hunting Public. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Don't have my interview shirt, but maybe I'll just Photoshop it in or something. But other than after day two, Ohio just kind of gave us a roundhouse kick to the face. So my first question is, what are some of your takeaways?
Takeaways are definitely that calling in thick areas is like something that can be used in a lot of different places during the rut. The other takeaway is that is kind of the question. It's what I'm going to be thinking about for the next year probably until we do it again. But we talked about skyline, which is another thing. It's like just being in these hills, man. That's like one of those things that can really hurt you if you're not paying enough attention to it. So we'll be thinking about that the next time as well. And then other takeaway is trust those funnels, man. You can at some point you can trust those funnels during the rut. And I struggle to do that. I know I got to get better at it.
I hunted with Dan Infalt for a week in Indiana, and he described Taco Bell as deer-killing food. After we've had some time to test the theory for ourselves, what do you think about it?
I mean, hey, there for a while we're like, we get Taco Bell, we're seeing a big buck. And there was 3 times in a row we saw one close to public land that we kind of hunted. We saw one hunting, and then we saw one driving on private land that we couldn't hunt. Well, and then the next day, the next time we had saw one on the way in the moonlight jumping, off the road. So it's like, if you get Taco Bell, you're going to probably see a good buck. When it's true, Dan might be right, dude.
Describe your animosity towards four-wheelers.
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty anti four-wheeler, I'll admit. I just think they're like a tool that just degrades the landscape so unnecessarily when you can just walk to a lot of places. Four-wheelers just make it easier to get to, especially on public land where you're not supposed to be doing it. Read your rules and regulations. Just because you and your family and your friends have been doing it for years does not mean it's legal.
On a scale of 1 to 99, what would your agility rating be?
I mean, 53 maybe. I mean, have you seen me fall out there?
Quite often.
Agility, yeah. I mean, my stamina, I would say, is up there. But agility, I don't know. What would you rate it?
I mean, I'd probably hang around 50, 60.
Okay. I mean, it's it's realistic.
I mean, he falls about 3 or 4 times a day.
Hard, too.
Last question. What's next for you?
Next is taking a break and hunting since October 25th or 6th from Colorado. I'm flying home. Roy's flying home. Thanksgiving's coming up. It's time to take a break and hang out with some family. And my girlfriend. I'm really looking to hang out with my girlfriend. I'm excited about that. Yeah, and then probably coming back here to tackle it again with a gun. I'd love to do something else, and I might still. It just depends on how this goes and how much time we got. And then South Dakota and bow hunting again. So the hope is still, too, that get a chance to get something bow killed. I ain't got nothing bow killed this year because the two times I've got to hunt, I failed.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Hey, so it keeps coming back, man.
All right,
What's next for you?
What's next for me is I'm going home as well. Maybe gonna try to shoot one with my rifle at my dad's lease. They do this Thanksgiving at deer camp the Wednesday before every Thanksgiving. So we go up and hunt that night and then in the morning and do all that fun stuff and then come back, meet up with Warb and Ted and go down to Arkansas. So that's my plan. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions that you want me to ask Zach or anybody else, leave it down in the comments.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, that's gonna do it for a while until we get some gun hunting content, but that should be fun too. So, thanks for watching. That should be good.